Hey guys, AniMind here, and welcome back to another Speedbent video. Sorry that I haven't uploaded that much. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you'd know that I'm not really at my usual location where I record. I'm not really at home. Well, I wasn't really at home. I'm now back, so I'll be uploading a bit more regularly from now on. But yeah, and anyway, as you probably saw in the title, today we will be talking about Kung Fu Panda. Surprisingly, this is actually my first movie review kind of thing. I have done I have talked about some shows and stuff, but surprisingly, I haven't really talked about many movies, which I can't really believe. I went through some of my videos the other day, and then I saw, wait, why do I? Because I kept not having ideas for what to talk about, and then I realized, why don't I just talk about movies? And yeah, so I'm just going to be talking about a bit of a cult classic, which is Kung Fu Panda, of course. And yeah, first of all, I just want to talk about this drawing before I start rambling on about Kung Fu Panda. This is a picture of Victoria and not Sophie, sorry, Angela, climbing up a tropical kind of mountain. I know these kinds of mountains are, especially in, southeastern Asia. There are a lot of these kinds of mountains there, and it's just beautiful for me. I believe there are mountains like this in Rio. I'm not really sure. I don't really have a good memory, but yeah, and so yeah, I really worked kind of hard on this one, and I'm really proud of the shading and stuff that I did. And that sounds weird. I'm proud of the shading, but yeah, you'll see in the later that there has gone a little bit of too much shading into this video. But yeah, and anyway, let me continue with Kung Fu Panda. And Kung Fu Panda, if you haven't seen it, is about Po, who is a panda that wants to do one that is like a big fan of the Furious Five, who are a group of legendary kung fu fighters. And yeah, he is kind of a geek about them. He has all their action figures and stuff like that. And on the one day that the Dragon Warrior is chosen, which is not like a big deal, he accidentally falls in the way of one of Master Uguay, I think. I'm not really sure. Yes, the turtle person. And then he chooses Po. And so the story starts with him learning Kung Fu, and there are so far, at the time I'm recording this, there are 3 movies. My favorite, to be honest, is the second one where Lord Shen is in. Lord Shen is by far like a big plus because he is really, the voice acting is amazing. I actually mistaked him for a woman when I was really small, which is weird, but usually, well, I personally see most male peacocks as a bit more of a feminine, giving me more feminine vibes, because they do have beautiful colors, and it does just look like if a peacock would have human relations, then yeah. And anyway, but yeah, and I'm just going to talk a bit about, first of all, about my personal experience with Kung Fu Panda. I actually watched the second movie first. I guess that has to do why it's my favorite. But yeah, and then because my brother already saw the first movie, and we got the second movie as a DVD, and I watched it. Luckily, you didn't really need that much context for the first movie, and then from the first movie, sorry, and then I really just enjoyed it. At the time, I really enjoyed Lego, and I used to always build Lego stuff from movies and stuff. Kung Fu Panda is one of my favorite movies. It's not my favorite movie of all time, but it's definitely up there. I'd say it's my favorite, and it's definitely in my top 3 favorite 3D animated movies. But yeah, and when we moved away from our original house, we moved to a bit more of a city location where we were able to watch movies more often, get DVDs and stuff more often. You know, the city has a lot more stores and stuff like that. And then we got Kung Fu Panda 1. I was surprised because Kung Fu Panda 2, as a kid, I just assumed the 2 was just symbolized something else. I'm not really sure what I thought it symbolized, but it symbolized something else in my mind. I don't entirely remember. But yeah, and then when I saw the first movie, of course it wasn't as good as the second movie, but I really enjoyed it. I watched it a few times over and over again the day that I watched it the first time. And then the third movie came out, and all of this was actually before I really started getting invested in art. Back then I was like really into science and stuff, and then when the third movie came out, we didn't really know much about it. I didn't see any of the trailers and stuff. So we saw them. We went to the movies. We occasionally went to the movies and just saw what was on and then watched it. We didn't really go to the movies and knew what we were going to watch, which is kind of weird now I look back at it. But yeah, and we saw Kung Fu Panda 3 is on. I was like really excited because, of course, I'm a big fan of the movies. And we watched it and it was like really good. I really enjoyed the lore being a bit better explained. Kylon, I think his name is Kylon. I'm not really good with names. He was a great character in my opinion. And Uguay wasn't shown too often. I feel like they balanced the characters well. But yeah, and so if I had to rate the movies, it would be number 2, number 1, and number 3. The reason why number 3 is last is because I feel like number 1 was just such a beautiful and passionate project, and number 3, it wasn't as serious, which I still enjoyed the movie, but I like the movies when they're a bit more serious, if you know what I mean, because something like Kung Fu Panda 2, in the beginning of the movie, it's like all serious vibes, and I really loved it. And yeah, I really enjoy all the movies. And yeah, please comment down below what you thought about this video. Also, comment what your favorite one of the 3 movies were. Please also like, subscribe. I really need the subscribers. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. I hope you like my speed paint, and goodbye.